For the second straight year in a row, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves are headed back to the Western Conference Finals. This may be a bit of a hot take. In my opinion, this is the best team that is left standing out of the rest of the field, such as OKC, the Denver Nuggets, same with the Pacers, the Boston Celtics, and the New York Knicks. As I'm recording this video, it's Game 6 with the Knicks and with the Celtics. When I look at this situation right now with the Timberwolves, they have everything that it takes to win it all. They have versatility with the lineup, and it dates back to that trade that they made with Anthony Towns. They traded Karl to the New York Knicks to bring in Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. A lot of analysts are raising their eyebrows at this point in time. Now, I want you guys to understand this. This is a team that just went to the Western Conference Finals the year before with Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards, and Mike Conley. They moved off of a fan favorite and Anthony Towns to New York. And I do believe it's one of those situations where both teams have won. The reason why the Timberwolves did that, Anthony Towns was making a lot of money, but it was also his playing style. Him and Rudy Gobert were a very weird fit. Rudy Gobert is known for being one of the best defensive players in the NBA, especially as being a rim protector. And we'll get deep into that later in this video. But when you have a guy in Anthony Towns, doesn't really have a post game. I cringe when I see him go into the post. That's not his game. He is known for going out there and shooting a lot of threes and getting to the rim in very weird ways. He's not a physical offensive player. When you look at someone like Julius Randle, he gives you a brand new wrinkle to this offense. A physical player that has a post game, an underrated playmaker, and on top of that, he's a better defender than Anthony Towns. It was so many times last year, especially against the Dallas Mavericks, they're just isolating Anthony Towns. They're getting to the rim on him over and over again, and when you get him into foul trouble, you now have a lineup with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert. And Anthony Towns, they need an extra body there to bring in some more versatility. And you could run a lineup with Naz Reid and Anthony Towns. They did that, but it didn't have the same impact on defense like how it's having right now with Julius Randle and Naz Reid and how it's had with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. And that trade has been phenomenal for both sides. It was an up and down year this year with the Timberwolves. They were very inconsistent compared to last year in the regular season. A lot of that, brand new pieces. Donte DiVincenzo was trying to learn how to play with Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley. The same with Julius Randle. And Julius Randle dealt with injuries in the regular season. But down the stretch, since he returned from that injury, he's been phenomenal. 42% from three. Against the Golden State Warriors in that second round series. 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. He's averaging career numbers across the board. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, points per game, rebounds, assists, steals, everything. Julius Randle has stepped up big time in the playoffs, and I'm happy for him. For the ones that don't know, with the New York Knicks, he didn't have the best outings in the playoffs. He was not shooting the best. He was known as a choke artist in the playoffs, but he's come up big time. And I look at that two-man game with him and Anthony Edwards, even dating back to that first-round series against the Lakers, it's working. And that perimeter defense that they have, my goodness, with Mike Conley, Donte DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, they get into your chest. Look at these names. LeBron James, Luka, Austin Reeves, Jimmy Butler. They did not have the same impact in the postseason that they had in the regular season when they went against this organization. And I want to start with that round 1 series. A lot of Laker fans were joking, but some of them were serious when they were saying Lakers in 5. We're not worried about it, Lakers in 5. They went down a couple games, they said Lakers in 6. Then it became Lakers in 7. Then you realize the Timberwolves won this series in 5 games. They did that because Coach Chris, he came out and he outcoached JJ Redick. But Anthony Edwards had the series of a lifetime. The same with him, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. No one has ever seen Rudy Gobert go out there and be an offensive threat the way that he was able to do things against the Los Angeles Lakers. In that last game, Rudy Gobert was killing him on both ends of the court, finishing with lob passes, just going up to the rim and coming down with it. A lot of that is because the Lakers, they didn't have a true big man. But at the same time, JJ Redick was so stubborn, he didn't want to play as center. So they took advantage of that. And this is the one theme with the Timberwolves, even dating back to last season. They'll just take advantage of the opposing team weaknesses. And that's what great teams do. And that's what great coaches do. You have a weakness, we're just going to go out there and pinpoint it until you stop it. If you can't stop it, hey, that's your problem. So they're just killing the Lakers over and over again. Get to the rim with Anthony Edwards. Get to the rim with Julius Randle. Get to the rim with Naz Reid. And then you run that zone coverage, kill the corners. Naz Reid is wide open. Jaden McDaniels is wide open in the corner. Anthony Edwards comes up. He pops a 3. Last year, Anthony Edwards was shooting 35% from three. This year, he's shooting 39% from three, and his three-point percentage has gotten better on this playoff stretch. And I want to focus in on Anthony Edwards for a second. We all know him for being one of the best players in the NBA. Every single year of his career, he's become a better jump shooter from the mid-range, from the three-point shot, and he can still get to the rim. He can put so much pressure on the rim that it'll force a defense to go out there and put 2 to 3 bodies on him. Now he has the playmaking ability to find the open man. This is not the same Anthony Edwards in his first year, in his second year. He's going to go out and he's going to find the open man. He's going to turn around, Julius Randle, you're wide open for three, come down with it. Or he'll just hit a lob pass up to Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert has still been iffy with his hands. His hands still aren't the best. But it's those key situations like that. Just his mere presence on the court opens up the rest of his offense. And now you have a dominant screen game with him and Julius Randle. And Anthony Edwards, he screened for Julius Randle before. If you sag off and you just say, you know what, we'll go under the screen, he'll just pop the three. If it doesn't go in, Rudy Gobert is there for the rebound. Naz Reid is there for the rebound. They're getting second chance points. So they're killing you on the three-point line. Anthony Edwards is able to go out there inside the paint, consistently steal, and he's able to kill you with his mid-range shot. He's able to kill you with his three-point shot. They have Jaden McDaniels on the outside of those corners coming down with threes. And when you look at their defense, the versatility is still just there on the perimeter, especially there. When you look at LeBron for a second, he went 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter. A lot of people came out and they said, you know what? That's his age. He's getting older. LeBron is still LeBron. What happened against the Timberwolves was this. He got a bit exposed. He couldn't go to the rim on a consistent basis. Rudy Gobert is there waiting. Julius Randle's an extra body, the same with Naz Reid. And he's not going to be able to go out there and hit those pull-up threes. They're going to make life hard on him. So they're getting into his chest. Luka, phenomenal player. He's still the top offensive player to have. His defense is terrible. Defensively, they're killing Luka as well. So they're saying, hey, Austin Reeves, go out there and step up like how you did in the regular season. He can't. They're putting a lot of bodies on him. So they're just going out there. They're beating up on their big three over and over again, and they're killing them in transition. They gassed out the Lakers. You can make all the excuses that you want. LeBron being older, Luka not being 100%. I don't want to hear it. They went out there and they beat that team. Well, a lot of people said that they weren't going to beat that team, and they beat them in 5 games. Against the Golden State Warriors, they beat them in 5 as well. A lot of people will come out and they'll say, you know what? Stephen Curry was out. I don't believe in the Timberwolves. I'll tell you this. Even if Stephen Curry was going to still be able to go out there and play, you have to give the Golden State Warriors a shot. I said this in yesterday's video. The Timberwolves still would have beat the Golden State Warriors in either 5, 6, or 7 games. That's how I feel about it. For this standpoint here, we know that he's a phenomenal player on the offensive end. He's one of the best shooters, in my opinion, the best shooter we've ever seen. This is the killing part here. Remember when I said a couple minutes ago that Coach Chris will go out there, he'll find weaknesses with your team? When we look at the Timberwolves in the regular season against the Golden State Warriors, and I know the regular season is different, they'll just go out there and pinpoint Stephen Curry on defense. So they may match him up with Anthony Edwards, get to the paint on him, hit a step back 3. Dante DiVincenzo, if he's guarding him, Dante DiVincenzo can get to the rim. He has a solid 3-point shot. You have Mike Conley. He can get at Stephen Curry. And this is one thing as well. If they have those versatile defenders, they'll be around for Stephen Curry, and they'll make sure that he doesn't go off for those major points down the line. They did lose game 1, but the Timberwolves shot terribly from the field, and they shot horrible from 3. That's not going to happen every single night. And we saw this in the regular season when they were inconsistent. One night, they'll just be terrible from the field. The next night, they'll spark it up. They're not a team that's going to go out there every single night and shoot 25% from 3. That's not this team, because you have so many good 3-point shooters on a consistent basis. And the defense was so good. When the Golden State Warriors went down with Stephen Curry, when he wasn't able to play, they put all that pressure on Jimmy Butler. And this was also another notion, playoff Jimmy. He's done this with the Miami Heat. He's going to step up. He's going to kill the Timberwolves. They put so many bodies on Jimmy Butler. He only had 1 good game. He was forced to look away from the rim and get other players involved. So they're looking at Brandon Podziemski. He's getting locked up. Jonathan Kuminga did have a good series, but in crucial moments, they stole the basketball from him and they finished out the game. And this team can play from behind. You're not going to see a situation with the Timberwolves where they blow a 20-point lead like the Cavaliers and the same with the Celtics. They're going to finish you out. That 20-point lead may become a 30-point lead. That is how good they are in the clutch with multiple players. And I look at Julius Randle, I'm really happy for him. considering the fact that he did not play good in the playoffs with the New York Knicks, but he comes over to this team with the Timberwolves and he's playing very well on both ends of the court. This is the year for the Timberwolves in terms of versatility. And I love their front court. You can have a front court with Julius Randle. You can have a front court with Rudy Gobert. You can take Rudy Gobert out. You have Naz Reid. You have Julius Randle. You can take Julius Randle out. You have Naz Reid. You have Rudy Gobert. They have that depth there. And you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's coming off the bench, giving you very good production on the offensive end and with his defense. This team has played so well through the first 2 rounds that no one even notices this. Donte DiVincenzo has not shot well from the field, especially from the three-point line, but he's done such a good job with his defense. And when I say it doesn't always come down to the three-point shot. It doesn't always come down to the offensive game. Can you go out there and slow down their best player? That's what Donte DiVincenzo has been able to do. And with all the versatility that they have and the coach they have in Chris Fitch, I love it. He's a very good head coach. He's been phenomenal since he took this starting job, since he took this job to become the head coach with the Timberwolves. I like this team a lot. They have a closer in Anthony Edwards. They have an underrated player in Julius Randle. They have a terrific defender in Rudy Gobert, who is stepping up on the offensive end, and they don't need him to go out there and give them 10 to 15 points. He can give them 5 points. As long as he's stopping another team from getting to the rim on a consistent basis and he's being a great rim protector, that's all you need from Rudy. And they don't need Anthony Edwards to go out there and score 30 to 35 points every single night, because now you have Julius Randle who can pick up the slack. We got to see Anthony Edwards go out there and have double-digit assists. He was more so of a laid-back, chill player in that game against the Golden State Warriors. He was letting everyone else do the dirt. He was letting everyone else do the dirty work, such as Mike Conley, Julius Randle. The same with Jaden McDaniels. They have the depth and they have everything that you would want in a championship team this year. And when I look at the rest of the field, the Pacers, very good basketball team. Their defense is very suspect. I look at OKC, outside of Shea, who else has been a consistent target on the offensive end? I look at the Denver Nuggets. No disrespect to Denver. They have Jokic. They have Jamal Murray. What happened last year with the Timberwolves? They beat them en route to go to the Western Conference Finals. They clamped up Jamal Murray so bad he threw a heating pad on the court. That is how frustrated he was. I look at the Boston Celtics. They could come back against the New York Knicks, but how would they look without Jason Tatum, especially against this defensive buzzsaw? And then you have the New York Knicks. In my opinion, that's the matchup I want to see. I want to see the Knicks versus the Timberwolves in the finals. All the storylines. Julius Randle going against his old former team. The same with Donte DiVincenzo and Big Cat going against the Timberwolves. That would be a perfect series in my opinion. And even if that does happen, I still have the Timberwolves beating them in maybe 6 or 7 games. But let me know in the comments section below, how do you feel about Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.